Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting into something I think a lot of us think about, or maybe should think about more, our mental strength, our mental fitness.
Right.
I mean, we spend so much time on physical fitness, don't we? Building muscle, cardio, diet, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Gyms, classes, tracking apps.
But what about, the inside game, the way our minds work? What if you find yourself, stuck in those same negative loops, that inner critic just going off?
Yeah, the self-doubt or maybe that feeling you have to control everything.
Yeah.
It's common stuff.
Totally. So what if you could actually train your brain to handle challenges better?
Yeah.
More positively, more effectively?
Well, that's a huge question, isn't it? And it taps right into this growing interest in tools for mental well-being, for resilience.
Okay.
And that's what we're digging into today, a specific program called the Positive Intelligence Program. It comes with an app, too.
Ah.
Yeah, it was developed by Shirzad Chamine. He lectures at Stanford, New York Times bestselling author. The whole point is about raising what he calls your positive intelligence quotient, your PQ.
KQ. Okay, I've heard IQ, EQ. PQ is new. What exactly is that?
Good question. It's basically a measure. How strong are your positive mental muscles compared to the negative ones?
Okay, like a ratio.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Think of it like,
Oh.
how often are you operating from a calm, clear, positive place versus getting hijacked by negativity or stress.
Hijacked. I like that. Relatable.
Right. So the program aims to shift that balance.
Yeah.
Build up your capacity for those positive, effective responses.
Got it. So that's our mission for this deep dive then, to really unpack this PQ idea, how the program and the app actually work, what benefits you're supposed to get, and, the practical side too. Cost, access, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Let's get into it and see how this program suggests you can boost that PQ score.
All right. So, the foundation. Raising this PQ score, strengthening mental muscles, shifting mindset. Sounds good. But what does mental fitness mean here, specifically in this program's terms? Is it just feeling happier?
That's a key point. It's not just about feeling good, although that often happens. It's really about effectiveness.
Effectiveness. Okay.
Yeah. So mental fitness in this context is your ability to face life's challenges with a positive and effective mindset, not getting dragged down into negativity or stress.
So it's about how you respond.
Exactly. How well do you handle pressure? How creatively do you solve problems when things get tough? Can you keep taking positive action instead of, freezing up or beating yourself up?
Right. Avoiding that analysis paralysis or the inner critic taking over.
Precisely. It's about managing your internal state so you can get better external results. Performance, action, not just feeling okay.
That's a useful distinction. Active engagement, not just passive well-being. Okay, and here's where I found it gets really interesting. The way the program frames our internal struggles, it talks about these characters in our heads.
It does, yeah. And that's actually a really powerful part of it. It personifies these internal forces. So you've got two main players. First, the saboteurs.
Saboteurs sounds ominous.
Well, they kind of are. They're those negative mental habits, the voices that pump out stress, self-doubt, anger, frustration, all that good stuff.
Uh-huh.
The program actually identifies 10 common ones. Like there's the judge, that's the master saboteur apparently, but also the controller, the avoider, the victim, the hyperachiever.
Wow, 10. I can probably tick a few boxes there already.
I think most of us can. And naming them, you see, it helps you spot them. It externalizes them. They're not you. They're just these patterns, like characters you can observe.
Okay, that makes sense. Less like a fundamental flaw, more like a pattern I can notice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's crucial. So if those are the saboteurs, what's the other side?
Right. What's the positive force?
That's the sage. The sage is the part of you, the part of your brain that handles challenges differently. It uses things like empathy, curiosity, creativity, gratitude, a sense of calm purpose.
Oh, the wiser self.
Pretty much. Operating from the sage leads to positive emotions, yes, but also, crucially, to effective action. Clear thinking, good solutions. It's about shifting out of those reactive saboteur modes into this more resourceful sage mode, accessing your inner wisdom, really.
Okay, so we identify the saboteurs. We want to access the sage more. How do we actually do that? You mentioned something called PQ reps. Is that like mental gym rep?
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
I mean, PQ reps. They're short, simple exercises.
Yeah.
Like really short, sometimes just 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yeah, you do them many times throughout the day. The idea is, just like lifting weights builds muscle, these little reps build new neural pathways. They strengthen the sage part of your brain.
So it's not like sitting down for a 30-minute meditation.
Not necessarily. It's more about these tiny, frequent activations, micro workouts for your brain. You catch yourself getting stressed or critical, you do a quick PQ rep to shift focus, activate your senses, maybe bring up some empathy or curiosity for just a moment.
Interesting, like interrupting the saboteur pattern in real time.
Exactly. It builds that mental muscle over time, making it easier and more automatic to access the sage perspective when you really need it. It's less about eliminating bad thoughts and more about building the strength of the good ones.
Okay, that micro-intervention approach sounds quite practical, actually, more integrated into daily life. So we have the theory saboteurs versus sage and the practice these PQ reps. How does the program itself deliver all this? It's called a blended learning experience, right? What does that involve?
Right. It's not just one thing. It weaves together a few key components. First, there are weekly video sessions, usually with Shirzad Chamine himself, laying out the core concepts.
Live sessions, or recorded.
The source mentions live video sessions as part of the structure, which adds an interactive element. And second, there's the app. The app guides your daily practice, those PQ reps we talked about, and delivers content.
Okay, app for the daily stuff.
Third, there's often coaching involved. Could be group coaching, could be one-on-one. This is really important for applying the ideas to your specific situations, work, relationships.
Makes sense. Personalized application.
And fourth, there's a community aspect. Participants are usually put into small groups called pods for support, accountability, sharing experiences, that social element.
So video lessons, app practice, coaching, and a peer group. It sounds pretty structured.
It is very structured.
And the app, you said it's not just something you download separately. It sounds like it's really woven into the fabric of the program.
Absolutely. It's kind of the daily engine. It delivers those bite-sized practices, the PQ reps, and they're often customized based on which saboteurs you identify as your main ones.
Ah, personalized exercises.
Yeah. Plus, it delivers the weekly video content from Chamine. It tracks your progress. You can actually see your mental muscle score growing over time, which can be motivating.
Like a fitness tracker for your brain.
Exactly like that.
Oh.
And it helps you connect with your pod, that peer group, for ongoing support.
So it really ties everything together. The learning, the practice, the community. It's the consistent touch point.
Precisely. It keeps the practice going day to day alongside the bigger learning pieces.
Okay, that gives a clear picture of how it works. Now, the big question, what about the outcomes? If someone commits to this, goes through the program, does the reps, what results can they realistically expect? What are the tangible benefits?
Well, the program materials highlight several key areas. Number one is developing a more positive and adaptive mindset overall. That's kind of the foundation.
Okay, a general shift.
Then increased resilience, better emotional mastery. So basically, being less thrown off course by setbacks or difficult emotions.
Handling stress better.
Yes, reduced stress is definitely a reported outcome.
Yeah.
And improved emotional intelligence, understanding your own emotions and others better.
That links to relationships, I imagine.
It does. Improved professional and personal relationships is another major benefit they list. Also, enhanced creativity and performance.
Creativity, how does that connect?
Well, think about it. If your judge-saboteur isn't constantly shutting down new ideas or your controller isn't demanding perfection right away, it frees up mental space for more creative thinking, right? For exploring possibilities.
Ah, I see. Quieting the inner critic lets new ideas surface. That makes sense. These aren't just vague concepts then.
Yeah.
Better stress response, better relationships, better performance. These are skills that could genuinely change daily life.
Absolutely. Think about that work pressure, or maybe a tense family discussion. Imagine approaching it with more curiosity, less defensiveness, or more empathy instead of frustration.
Yeah, you can see how that would ripple out. It raises a question, though. How does focusing on this mental fitness thing impact so many different areas?
It suggests that the core skills being built here, things like self-command, observing your thoughts without getting caught up, shifting perspective quickly, are fundamental.
Foundational skills.
Exactly. They're not just for one situation. They affect how you feel, yes, but also how you think, how you decide, how you perform, how you connect. It's like strengthening your core physically helps with almost every movement. Strengthening your mental core seems to have a similarly broad impact.
That's a great analogy. Okay, so the benefits sound potentially profound, but let's get practical. How do people actually access this? And what's the investment like? Cost is always a factor.
Right. So first off, the Positive Intelligence app, you can't just subscribe to it independently.
Oh, okay. Not like a Headspace or Calm subscription.
No, it's exclusively for people participating in the actual Positive Intelligence program. It's a part of the package.
Gotcha. And the program itself?
It can be a significant investment. The cost varies quite a bit, it seems.
Right.
Depends on whether you're doing maybe a more self-guided version or if you're working with a dedicated coach who provides more personalized support.
So different levels of support, different price points.
Likely, yes. Some coaches might offer the whole program, including maybe a year's access to the app, as a bundle deal.
A significant investment compared to, say, just buying a self-help book or a standard meditation app. What justifies that? What's the value proposition?
I think it comes back to that blended, structured approach. It's not just information or a tool, it's a guided curriculum over several weeks.
A program, not just a product.
Exactly. You've got the expert-led sessions, the personalized daily practice via the app, usually coaching accountability, and the peer support. It's designed for deeper, more sustained change, aiming to actually rewire those neural pathways, not just offer temporary coping techniques.
So it's the comprehensiveness and the guided structure.
That seems to be the core value, yes. It requires commitment, and the investment likely reflects that depth. One other point on accessibility, the company does state a commitment to making the app and website accessible for people with disabilities.
That's good to know, an important consideration. Okay, so it's a structured, guided program, requires commitment and investment, but aims for deep shifts.
That sums it up pretty well.
All right, so today we've really dug into this Positive Intelligence program. We've looked at the framework, these saboteurs, and the SAGE, which is a really vivid way to think about inner conflict.
Yeah, very relatable concepts.
And the blended learning method, the videos, the coaching, the pods, and especially that integral app driving the daily PQ reps, those little micro exercises.
The daily practice engine.
Plus the benefits it aims for: less stress, more resilience, better performance, stronger relationships, quite a wide range.
It really highlights this core idea, doesn't it? That mental fitness isn't fixed. Just like physical fitness, you can train it, you can build it intentionally with the right approach and consistent practice.
Yeah, it's about actively cultivating it, not just hoping for the best, taking charge of your own mental operating system.
Instead of letting those old saboteur programs run the show.
Exactly. So here's a final thought for you listening. If doing just a few minutes of this kind of targeted practice each day could really help you rewire your responses, help your SAGE lead more often, what part of your life, maybe the one area that feels stuck or challenging right now, would you most want to apply that new mental strength to first? Something to think about.
A powerful question to end on.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.